Visual guidance is a demonstration of the required task. It is used to build a mental image for cognitive learners, and it can be given by a coach or other players, or through different media sources like videos. Demonstrations have to be technically perfect so that nobody develops bad techniques from them. It is also very useful to highlight specific weaknesses when performing, and also for developing the correct mental image of the skill. Verbal guidance, on the other hand, is an explanation of the task or job you want the performer to do, and is more often than not used in conjunction with visual guidance, as the coach will explain what they are doing whilst performing the demonstration. It is used to give technical and detailed advice to more experienced players, whereas can be used to help cognitive learners to understand the task. However, when using verbal guidance, you need to make sure you don't give too much information, as the performers may become confused. Also, if it isn't given briefly, performers will lose concentration, and also the language used has to be relevant to the performer's level so they will understand what to do. Manual guidance involves physical support from the coach. It helps to eliminate danger from tasks, and therefore also helps to build the confidence of performers when performing the dangerous tasks. It helps them to get a feel for what the tasks are like, and develops their kinesthesis of the skills they are performing. Furthermore, it helps to eliminate any fear and anxiety associated with the dangerous tasks. However, it can have a detrimental effect on the performer if overused, as they can become reliant on the support of the coach and lose the feel for performing the skill on their own, and it can therefore cause bad habits. To prevent this, the coach mustn't overuse the manual guidance, as they may harm the performance of the skill and the confidence of the performer. Manual Mechanical guidance is where a device is used to aid the performance of a skill, such as a harness on a trampoline. It is very similar to manual guidance in this respect, as both support the athlete when they are performing skills. Mechanical guidance helps to build the confidence of performers, as their successes with the mechanical aids motivate them to perform the skills without the aids. It also helps eliminate dangers from the task and can give a feel for the whole skill. It can also be used with disabled and injured athletes when they are training. However, if used for too long, it can interfere with the feel for the skill and can cause the performer to become dependent on it. This can therefore cause a loss in motivation, as the performer may think they are not able of the task on their own. To prevent this, you need to limit the amount of time they use the mechanical aids for. Goal setting can be used to reduce the effects of social loafing and therefore improve a team's cohesion. It is useful for increasing the motivation of a performer because it gives them an objective to aim for, and when they succeed they are filled with pride and satisfaction. It also improves the confidence of performers, as goals set may improve their technique or physical capabilities. Furthermore, setting goals helps to sustain a performer's efforts, as they will strive to reach and exceed their targets. There are many different types of goals you can set, one of which are outcome goals. Outcome goals are success-based. For example, your team may set a goal to reach the final of a trophy. They aren't always based on winning, but refer to an objective you want to achieve as a team or an individual by the end of the season. Outcome goals compare your performances to the performances of others around you, and if successful, can cause large motivational increases. However, losses can be very detrimental and damage motivation severely. Another type of goal you can set is a task-oriented goal, which are not just based around winning, but to get better performances or techniques. Motivation is maintained by achieving each goal you set. The athlete doesn't compare to others' performances, but compares to their own. Performance goals are where you are judged against previous performances as to improve personal achievements. To achieve a better performance, you may break the task down into techniques and develop each technique separately to improve the performance as a whole. Performance goals are where you aim to improve your technique alone so that you improve your performance. Each time your technique improves, you would feel pride as a performer, which would also increase your motivation to keep going and keep improving. To make goals you set effective, you need to take into account these principles. Firstly, your targets must be specific. They should aim to improve key aspects of your performance and not generalized areas. For example, to improve your defending is too generalized as a goal. You would want to improve something like your awareness so you can anticipate players' movements and make lots of interceptions. Secondly, goals need to be measurable. They should include statistics you can record to show improvement over time. For example, you make 4 interceptions in one game but 5 in the next, and these statistics can be used to show improvement. They also need to be achievable. They should be within your limits but hard enough that they are challenging and worthwhile pursuing. Goals also need to be realistic so that you stay motivated to achieve your goal and don't give up halfway through. Furthermore, goals need to be time bound so that each step is clearly defined, and whether it is short term or long term, and you need to have a clear end deadline where you want to achieve your goal by. You also need to evaluate your goal after you finish the time limit, whether you achieved it or not, as this means future attempts will contain less errors and you should be more successful. Finally, goals need to be redone if you don't achieve your target. This is so that you still have something to aim for and should be able to also better the targets next time around.